Hey, this is good. I like this. I've got a big audience today. Okay, it's 3 o'clock. Can I start? Is that good? Is that loud enough? Are you sure? It's loud enough for you. Okay. Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Solar Storage Line. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully, you've had as good a day as I am having, and hope to have a little bit further. We're going to have a little chat about some of the things that we're doing with Solar Nation. For those of you who don't know me or who we are, my name's Solar Kev from the Solar Shed, and I turn daylight into money. Well, that's what I used to be called when I was a lot younger. It's now just Kevin Holland from the Solar Nation. The Solar Nation is a network. It's a network of some of the longest running solar companies in the UK. To be a member, you have to have been serving as an installer for a minimum of 5 years. We do a lot of lead referrals. If someone comes to my website and I'm in Norfolk, but the lead is in Manchester, I ain't going to Manchester. I might have done that 15 years ago when times were tight, but not today. We're busy. We're all very busy. So I want to have the faith and trust in the company that I refer that lead to. And you can't always do that just because someone's got an NCS certificate. So we set up a network. To start with, it was the past leads, and it's grown into something rather different. Some would say rather different. Hello, I didn't even see you over there, Louise. Two of our founder members from TB Electrics up in Cheshire. You can find them at solar-power.co.uk/Cheshire. Okay? So we own solarpower.co.uk, and then we'll get a / with their county afterwards. So you've always got a Solar Nation member up there. So, today we've got myself, we've got Chris Plaster, Daniel Hurst, and Luke Gonzalez. Two of them are independent solar companies, and Luke is a specialist within his field. He's a safety specialist. And what he doesn't know about battery or DCR and all the rest of it, it's So today's talk is mainly called Solar Without Sales. How do we stay busy without heavy marketing? A lot of us don't do much marketing, don't do much advertising. I've got a £5 a day Google advert that runs. Most people spend thousands of pounds a week on meta ads. Not our members. How do we do that? So we're launching a book today called Solar Without Sales, and my carer, wherever he's gone, Finn, he's got a whole load of those books. He might just hand them out while we're talking. We're hand out a few books. It is in draft form. I've got to put page numbers on it. We've got to put an index into it. Hi, Steve. We've got to put an index into it. And I'm here today to get sponsors for this book. Because the idea is the content of that book is gold dust. And I want to give that to all 5,000 registered NCS installers. I want to give it to them free of charge. That is going to cost somebody money, so I'm going to get these sponsors to do that. So, that's us. Myself, Chris, Danny, and Luke. So, the Solar Nation, we are the UK's largest independent network installer. We are a guild. A lot of us are the guys and girls who set this industry up. So I've been trading since 2018, and whilst my own company is not NCS registered, I'm a sales consultant, every job that we've ever done since March 2008 has been aligned with the NCS. That's how long I've been involved in this industry. We have got 70 members across the network with over 700 years of combined experience. I think that's actually trading. There's actually about 10,000 years of experience in the network, but that's 700 years of experience. Around 1 in 20 solar installations have been completed by a Solar Nation installer. 1 in 20. Some of the guys are doing 50 or 60 a year. Some of the guys and girls are doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds a year because they do housing associations and new build developments. We've got a whole mixed bag. All members have a minimum of 5 years of training, and we will share a similar ethics and commitment to better our industry. One of the things that we'll do on a very regular basis is have a monthly meeting. We haven't had one this month, but it lands today. So the monthly meetings are where the Solar Nation members gather, and we have one manufacturer and one service provider to come and help us get better. And we share knowledge and share information, and we do. I thought after 18 years I knew it all, and then I joined the Solar Nation, and boy, am I being schooled every single day. And that's what it is like. Every day is a school day. And there's also a lot of solace in the group. It's very good to air your frustrations about bitching about it publicly, excuse the expression. So we do that privately in our open message groups and things like that. One of the meetings we had recently was about marketing. And I asked the question, if we didn't have the internet, how would your business survive? And a few people answered, oh my God, I get some leaflets out. And other people said, I got a clue. How would your business survive if you didn't have the internet? So we had 15 chapters or 15 different verses, 15 lessons on how to market your company without the internet. And then me being me, because it was mulling over in my mind, that night, I thought, I wonder if I could write a book about this. So I put all my notes in the ChatGPT, and I spent the next 2 nights until about 6 in the morning writing the book that Finn's got until you handle out what has happened. So as I said, it is in draft form. But what we want to do is talk about some of the chapters in that book and how it can help you as solar installation companies to endear yourself into your local community. And some of the things that the guys are already doing. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Danny Hurst from the Greenway Solar, and we're going to talk specifically about solar MOTs. So Danny, the question is, got a microphone there, mate. What is a solar MOT? Yes,
is that on? Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so solar MOT is literally just a check, just an engineer going in and checking all the components that can physically get to ensure that they're still safe, they're still sound, and they're still going to do the job without causing any issues, any downtime, any fires, any arcs, and still going to leave the customer happy that the system does what they thought it was going to do.
Okay, so do you charge for your solar MOTs?
We do. So we charge the client for the. It's a nominal amount that covers our engineer cost. We don't actually charge to make money out of going and doing. We call them health checks. We don't make money out of doing that because actually it leads on to plenty of other business whilst we're there in almost every reason.
And that's the point of it. What we're doing is putting something in that's quite a serious thing, the safety side of things. You're making sure that the customer's investment is still performing as it should. But the psychology of it is if you're the customer, he's a good bloke, isn't he? He's going to talk about you to your neighbour. So, on my solar guy, he comes around and checks, he charges me 50 quid or whatever it is every 2 years. But he is it. He's still around. It's a very, very subtle market approach, yeah? So what sort of, how do you sort of upscale? What happens when you get...
So essentially, whilst we're there, if you come across system faults, if they're on your own system, you'll sort them out. If they're on a system you haven't installed, you can charge to know what those faults are. But inevitably, what will happen...
Sorry to interrupt. So you go out and you go out and do solar MOTs on systems that you never installed as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are thousands and thousands of homeowners out there with systems with no installer. The installer's gone out of business.
So you adopt those as customers, and then when they want batteries, when they want inverters, when they want a car charger.
Well, these days, even when they want to change their panels, we get a lot of people saying, if I change my 250 watt panel to a 500 watt panel, can I do that? And we'll have a look and help them do that as well.
So you look after other customers like you look after your own.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's what we're trying to do within Solar Nation, is encourage that level of customer service so that we become the go-to people. The idea is that when someone gets a bill in January for 350 quid for their electricity, they go, right, it's about time we run solar. We want to be the first person that they think of. Not, oh, let's go on Facebook and fill in a form and get 35 blokes off of Facebook and come give you a quote. You want to go, oh, that's the solar shit, well, that's the Greenway, or that's the HMS. Wherever you are, that's what we're hoping that we can build in our network, is that we become the go-to people. So, the cycle there, install, maintain, install, upgrade, refer, install, is a continuous cycle, isn't it?
Yeah, we actually get more referrals from our maintenance clients than we do from our install clients.
because everyone moans about something going wrong. They say, "I'll go and see Danny." If they just go, "Oh yeah, my soldier's fine."
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, when you're there, just put something like, just check it, just put someone's life at ease, they're a lot more likely to ask you, can you price for the battery? My neighbour wants something, can you help me out?
I think that's really important as well. A lot of the people that we're dealing with are legacy fit. So people going back 16 years ago who were 70 then, they were the people buying solar when it was 20 grand 4 kilowatt system. A lot of their installs have gone bust, and all they had was solar. And the inverter doesn't work now, because they're feeding tariffs, so everything they monitor by is extra in the feeding tariff. And the meter's still the same as what it was 3 or 6 months ago. So that's when we get the phone call. And I think those elderly people who are in their 70s and now in their late 80s, it is that reassurance thing that Danny was just talking about. So it's almost like the social workers, we're solar workers. Yeah? So we're not just about solar stores, it's not just a numbers game, it generally is looking after the customers, it's looking after your community. And when you look after the community, your community looks after you. And that's just one example there. So, Danny, we'll talk us through the.
Yeah, so maintenance, yeah, we've already touched on it a bit. Maintenance really does turn your customers, your maintenance customers, into your biggest sales tools. As I said, we get more referrals from those clients. By looking after them, often, as Kevin just said, they may have started with something that doesn't work, or they've asked you to go around and look. You go to look at it, all of a sudden you've got a confidence. They're then referring you to their friends and family. They're coming back to you for their batteries, they're coming back to you for upgrading their panels. And before you know it, you've installed for them, you've installed for the neighbours, and it just, you're almost now designing a system rather than selling a system.
We then take orders that make sense.
Absolutely.
I like that. And that's also got to be good for your business long term, for growth of your business, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if there are other installers in the room, we all know that referral is the best route to growth. I think the average conversion rate is 1 in 4 from a raw lead. Most of us will be doing 2 or 3 and 4 for referral.
But also, if you're looking at long-term growth in your business, especially in a young business now, what about that exit strategy? How valuable is your business with a service contract maintenance plan in place with 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 customers? It's a lot more valuable, isn't it? So we're not here to help you flog your business, we're here to help you sell your business to your community. But you've got to think like a business person as well. You're not all the social workers. You've got to think like a business person as well. And if you've got maintenance contracts in place, that's where the value in your business is. Again, maintain all your installs and your competitor systems. I think that's really important in your competitors as well.
Yeah, the competitor systems, obviously, if competitors still trading, generally speaking, will only get their maintenance if they're not doing it themselves. So, competitors are almost, where there's this fit and forget attitude from installers, they're leaving the back door open for us to come and upsell.
That's what I really like it when I don't like it when anyone goes bust. But when someone does go bust and they're quite busy in the area where I work, I know I'm going to pick up all the neutral bulk. Just by being out there to do, I don't charge for a visit within 15 miles. I don't charge any of my customers to go and see them. You get someone who went with another company first and then comes back, yeah, they're in charge. But I guarantee, I'm only there because the sun's gone wrong. So I'll get the warranty, I'll get the inverter replacement, I'll get the damaged panel upgrade, I'll get the battery. So I'll make my money that way. And it does work. And so maintenance is the cheapest high quality lead source. I've never actually looked like that, but it is. It generally is a decent lead source if you prepare to put time into it.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, we don't make a lot of money out of it from maintenance itself, but every other lead source you're paying for it, it's not a referral, you're paying for it one way or another.
You don't get no hot than that. Luke, from the safety point of view, now we're talking about what Danny does in his business and the effects of it for growth and leads. But it's more than just getting leads, isn't it? This particular subject is quite close to your heart. So tell me.
Yeah, definitely. I think that raises a good point. This is not a fit and forget technology. I think solar PV is often sold on that pretense, and obviously within the industry we are seeing fires occur, and realistically, data suggests that these fires are potentially avoidable. So, with maintenance and simple checking of the systems, these could be avoided. Which, as an installer, why are we not capturing maintenance at the early start with the design and installation? As an industry, we're going for the installation, the high value project, but really, if you want resilience and real secure customers, you need to be secure in the maintenance room.
Excellent, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Has anybody got any questions for Danny or Luke on the maintenance or the safety side of things? Do you, the panels have done, not as standard. A lot of my personal stuff is optimised already with microfirs. It's very easy to see what's going on.
I'll just add something to that.
Sorry, the question was, do you use thermal imaging? So, do you guys use thermal?
Can I just add, with thermal imaging, obviously it does depend a lot on the irradiance. In the UK, if you're carrying off thermal imaging on a non-sunny day or less than 600 watts per metre squared, you won't get accurate sort of hotspots finding. Yeah.
I knew there was a reason I invited you along there. I'm learning something new every day now. So if anyone says they're going to come inspect the panels on a cloudy day when we're doing thermal imaging, now you know. It ain't going to work very well. Thank you, Luke. There's another question there. Oh, okay. When's an inverter about to fail? I can answer that one. Most of the time, they either work or they don't work. There's no in between. Although some of them start to develop fault codes, so it depends on the manufacturer. So when people phone me up and say I've got an ABB or an Aurora Power One inverter, I go, oh, E301 is it? Because I know it's going to be an E301 or 302. But there's certain manufacturers who just know after a certain amount of years that the relay is going to go. Very, very few inverters are intermittent. You might tell me otherwise, but the stuff that I've been using over the years, very few are intermittent. It either works or it doesn't. And the only way to find out is if you've got good monitoring. And if it's an early system where there's no monitoring, is looking regularly on your generation meter. Not just quarterly to get your money, but on a daily or weekly basis to make sure the numbers have gone round. If it's been a great day and the numbers haven't gone round, there's something wrong. Does that answer the question? So, do you need a new inverter? Where do you live? Oh, listen, yeah, I mean, it depends on the technology. You should be looking at 10 to 12 years old inverter minimum. I've got inverters out there 16 years old, and the same manufacturer inverter, we've seen them fail after 8 years. But today's technology, I mean, they work hard, but today, the least amount of mucking around with them. Yeah. So if you've got a battery and you've got tariffs and you're trading, if you're penny pinching and doing this on your battery all the time and sending your inverter spasms, it's going to go wrong quicker than if you just leave it alone. 14 years, leave it alone. It'll keep going. It'll keep going. Okay, I think this is your last slide. Is this one, Tony?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's one more after. It's just a couple of reviews.
Oh, there we go. So who's Duncan? Does he work for you?
Duncan does work for me, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad because I spent your name wrong otherwise. So it's always nice to get a review, isn't it? And actually, having a year on here as well shows the longevity, doesn't it? After 15 years.
Yeah, so Liz from Mill Keys was not one of our clients. It was actually the very first system we cleaned. So we actually used her, she had a very luxury-rich array, and we actually had three cleaning manufacturing companies come to her property with her kit and show us how to clean it. And we used hers as a trial, and obviously one of them is better than the other, so we ended up using that to go over the whole of.
I've actually spoken to a few customers of late who were from 2008, 2009, and just asked them to do a Google review. I've never asked for Google reviews in all these years. I've got about 50 or 60. I've got 1,600 customers and I've got 50 reviews. I don't ask. But I thought I'd ask this particular bloke because he was really happy. 2008, thermal solar system. That's a nice review, that is. That's a nice review. Danny, thank you. Right, we're going to talk next about the Street Solar Initiative. So Chris is going to focus on what he does in this area. I just want to briefly explain what this is. So a lot of companies, a lot of you may have heard of something called Solar Together over the years. A lot of us in the network think that local authorities shouldn't be spending taxpayers' money on outsourcing group purchases under the guise that it's going to be cheaper when they're not cheaper. Some companies are usually 80 or 90 or 100 miles away, and they're not around to look after the customers afterwards. I don't think my taxpayers' money should be spent on that. So for the last 10 years, I've been running something called Street Solar. Street Solar is basically, I get my customers to speak to their neighbours. Every now and again, if it's really, really quiet, and I meet someone who runs a village hall for me or something, I say, why not behind the village hall for an evening? I'll get the teas and biscuits, you get all the neighbours in, and we'll see if anyone's interested. I might pick up half a dozen leads. It's just a way of getting people together, good community thing, good thing to do, solar. But also, there's no discounts involved, there's genuine savings though, isn't there? If I can do 4 surveys in one day in one village, where I am rurally, I've got 20 miles between villages. If I can do 4 in one village, that's going to save me a shitload of time, which is money as a business. If we're going to fit 4 houses at the same time, we bring 2 scaffold lorries up, with 2 lots of scaffold on each. That's better than 4 trips for 4 houses. There's savings to be made. No discounts. The discount devalues what you do. There's savings to be made. So we talked about Street Solar, and before we move on, in the press, you're just going to see all the companies within Solar Nation who have started doing their own Street Solar initiative. It says, here we go. So in, it's going to be quick, in Hampshire, that's Luke, in the Dorset area. Can't see where all of these are. In Worcestershire, in Bristol, Greater Manchester. That's Rob up in Dumfries. That's me, West Norfolk. That's North Wales. It's Derby. It's in Essex. It's Reading, Cheshire. So there's 13 or 14 different companies there, all over the country running this initiative with no council, no taxpayers' money. Installer-led in the communities. And Chris is a big advocate of localism in this area. And Chris, we're going to leave. There he is, and he's much younger.
Absolutely, there's me in the front lines.
Nowhere near as good looking as you are now, though, Chris, but much younger, definitely.
That was 10 years ago.
Okay, so I'm going to flip over to the next slide and let's let Chris do the talking.
Yeah, so I've always focused on personal relationships with my customers. When we started in 2012, probably just after the big peak in the fit tariffs, it was a very competitive market, so how do we distinguish ourselves? So I was like, what's the best we can do? I've listened to my customers and say, well, there's more choices, there's mounting systems, there's inverters. And a lot of them stores weren't doing that at the time, and we've just kept with it.
So you're giving them a choice rather than telling them.
100%. Yeah. So I listen to the customers, I listen to them, to find out what's hurting them, and try to find the best solution for that. And that starts building up long-term relationships with customers. They're going to go with you, they're not going to go with anyone else. So these are some of our long-term customers. There's a guy called John, who installed that in 2017 in his house, and then installed in his garage, and then we did a little lean-to panel above his door in his garage there.
Just here.
That one there above
like
the doorway,
that.
yeah.
I like
So we're optimising like that. And then he went more solar because he's got a side hustle with a little 3D print farm, so he needs more electricity. It's in lock stores. I found a 1.5 metre solar panel, which is the same width as lock stores. I put a couple of panels on there, a couple of optimizers.
That's a bit innovative as well, isn't it? How many solar companies will do things like panels over a log store, one panel over a porch? It's usually a case of you need a minimum of 6 on the roof or we're not coming out. But that's the sort of companies we've got that will work with a customer. That's going to lead to 10 conversations. Those 10 conversations might lead to 10 leads. Yeah, sorry, Chris, I like that.
No, so we've got loads of examples of long-term projects. There's Graham, we installed in 2017, solar thermal. Don't get me wrong, but then we wanted EV, because EV, it came to a battery. Fiona, I saw in 2015 when my daughter was 1 year old. She calls us up 10 years later. She's now 11 years old, and a nightmare. But you know, we installed solar in 2015, and then we installed 2 batteries and we recharge them. It's not just customers. Sometimes we have long-term relationships with properties, with houses. So that middle one is a customer originally was someone called Glenn. We installed all that solar in through, 2 Tesla batteries. 3 years later, he sold his house. Person moved into the house, says, "Oh, I found out you installed the solar system. Can you just let me know how it all works?" I went along, free visit, just chatted about it. To be honest, I was interested to see what had happened to the system, just confirming it before well. And then we got 2 referrals from that. So that was their actually my customer. He never paid me any money.
But because of the way that you approached it, one of the things that I say to my customers is, look, I might come across as a really, really nice bloke. You might think I'm helping you out, but I'm not here for you. I'm here to look after your house. This system is going to be here longer than you are. The average house change in hands on over 70 years. Some of our long-term customers are not going to be there until they die, they're in their 70s already. Yeah? So the system's going to be there afterwards. But I'm brutally honest. I'm not here to look after you. I'm here to look after this system. And while you own it, I'm your best friend. When you've gone and your son and your daughter will get to him with somebody else, or somebody else buys it, I'll be looking after it with them as well. And I think that's what sets companies like us apart, is because of that level of, it's a commitment to our communities, because we know our communities look after us. But what I really like about this, Chris has put the names of the clients on the house. How many people refer to a solar system? I go, oh yeah, I've done that one. That was a 4 kilowatt with a 10 kilowatt hour battery. No, that's John. That's Fiona, or that's Graham. That's not a thermal solar system in PV. That's Graham, that is. It makes it personal. It shows the sort of company that you run.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah, it's just an example of our sort of customer referral journey. So we did an installation for Jonathan on his detached garage. He's getting a detached garage built, so we designed and installed an in-room system for that. Jonathan had a friend in the neighbouring village called Anne, and she was renovating her house, and we installed a lovely in-room system for Anne. And then Anne's got a friend called Natalie, and I think they were just walking the dog one time past their house, and Natalie's got a 500-year-old property, won't do anything with that roof, but a big old field, and I saw an example of that from someone in North Norfolk, like this, I stole it. And we installed that big old 25 kilowatt system for it. Natalie had a friend called Bill nearby. We installed a battery for him, and also we actually looked at his PV system that was installed by someone else, and we rectified some faults with that. And Bill is one of the trustees on the village hall, and we're currently discussing with them about a potential 12-bay carpool system for that.
So you've literally, from one customer, that's a referral from a referral,
Yeah.
a referral from a referral from a referral, and so on.
Yeah.
And then you go into the village hall,
Yeah.
and how many people does that village hall support? That village is yours, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Everyone knows about the village.
Isn't that the way to do it? Isn't that the way to do it? How much does that cost you in marketing?
Nothing.
Street solar. Yeah. There's no defined plan of what you do with this. You can advertise it, you can market it as companies, you can get some taxpayers' money to fund it and coordinate it and sub it out to somebody, or you can just look after all the people in one small community. Density over distance, every day what will travel for the right job, of course we will. But I'd rather pass a small residential to a trusted network member than spend all day driving to Manchester. You want to go to Manchester anyway? Well, it's West Ham.
So this one's a little bit different. It's kind of, I start saying, what's the best we can do? And for me, this one, this is a passive house. This is one of my favourite projects. This was really an example of what's the best we can do with the system. So we were involved at an early stage with the architect, and we were working for the customer directly. That was our relationship to what you'll learn is their forever home, what their engine use is going to be, and ways to see what we've got a roof there. It's just good, right? Absolutely. So passive house, no heating system. This house in the first year alone produced 99% of all the energy that used. And you can actually see it
Not just
basically.
electricity, but all of the energy
Yes,
they use.
absolutely lighting, heating, cooking, powering to electric vehicles, everything. And you can see 99% completely cover the house, and then it effectively produces the same again. So it'll power itself, plus an identical house next door. Right.
Nice.
So this customer itself was also a referral from another customer we did, basically, we had a good relationship with them. So we did this massive house, and then subsequently we did the house next door as well.
Brilliant. All from referrals, all in the same area. And it's about how you deal with your customers and how lives are happy. Some people just want to have a team and get out there and do loads of work for other solar companies. Some people, like us, we're front of house, we're engaging people, and we want to engage with communities. I like to find out what makes people tick. I'll say to them, are you looking to save penguins or stop the oil wars? They go, what? So I was here to save money, but while you mention it, that's something that's been on my mind actually. And we talk about the problems of the world and how solar's going to save them. Other people will sell purely on the finances that someone's going to save. No two companies are the same, no two customers are the same. I like a good conversation. And when you have conversations with people and they're like-minded people to you, in that community you become friends. They're not just customers, you become friends. I'm sure you'll testify to that.
Absolutely, yeah. I get a lot from my customers. They do become my friends.
We have, where I live, I'm very fortunate. I live adjacent to a tidal river and I predict tidal waves. When I advertise tidal waves locally, I have my customers come. And we go back, we have a barbecue, or some measurements. We have a barbecue in a few days, and a tidal wave comes down the river, like on the Severn Board. Yeah? The tidal wave comes down. And I'll be sitting there with a dozen of my customers over the years. Neighbours and customers. We all share similar interests in the environment. What's that one?
Yeah, so just this sort of final thoughts on how we operate. So basically, it'll come down to good customer services. Listen to the customers, give them what they need, trying to solve their problems, because everyone's worried at the moment. We're busy because everyone's worried. We provide long-term solutions to long-term problems. And sort of like, you start strengthening relationships and you build up goodwill. Goodwill as a currency. That's kind of what helps customers sell you and your sales team. Your customers, they won't go to everyone else. And then they're just going around there, getting everyone else on board with your ideas. I'm only small, but I don't fear competition. My customers.
Everyone said when we first started this network, hold on, you're all competitors, but you're all sharing knowledge and working with each other. Yeah, we do. I've got my biggest rivals in the area where I work, SmartTech and CRC. We compete. If I go to my house and get 3 quotes in, they'll have us 3 in there. And we don't fear each other. We're all in the same network, we share knowledge, share information, share leads with each other. But yeah, I think we're very collegiate as a network, aren't we?
Yeah, in case of point, I've got Danny sitting next to me. He's my immediate competitor. I can probably see his house from my house. But we've never competed with each other. My customers go to me, Danny's customers go to him. That's our network, that's our core group, that's our core sales team. So ultimately, we're trading our reputation rather than our price.
So as you said, your customers become your sales team. I've always said in business networking, which is another chapter in the book, you never sell to the room, you sell through the room. Give people enough information to make them want to pass that information on to other people that come to you. Never sell to the room, sell through the room. Just a simple networking. Thank you. Right, this is me, STEM and education. I love this picture. Do you all know what that is? If you're a solar installer or a roofer, you know what that is, don't you? Do all of you know what that is? Hands up if you don't know what that is. Okay, that's a roof hook. When we put solar panels on your roof, I need 2 hands to do this. I'll do it for every. When we put a solar panel on the roof, your tiles are not loose lake, and we slide your tiles up, and we put the fixing hook in, which are almost S-shaped, bolt in, and then we slide the tile back. And if the tile is sitting there and it kicks up a little bit, if there's a really bad storm, potentially you could get water in there, but also nasties could get in there as well. So we just notch out on the underside of the tile so the roof hook fits and the tile goes back nice and flush. And it's the little tiny things that we educate when I go into a house, I'll spend 20 minutes looking at the roof. I'm looking for slip tiles pointing on chimneys. I'm looking for the slip wall bed. I'm looking for the reasons why I shouldn't do it. And I'm explaining that to the customer. We're educating them from the minute we turn up about what we're going to do. At some point in a half hour, 40-minute conversation, the customer might say to me, how much am I going to save? Oh yeah, shed load of money. We'll talk about savings for 5 minutes. We talk about where we're going to run the DC cables, and we're going to use metal cable clips on the inside of the roof, not plastic cable clips. Or we're going to use the ARC box, which is a little device to contain any ARC faults in MC4 connectors. We're educating our public. We're talking about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. If they're having 3 other quotes, they're not going to have anybody else other than me do that work. Because I've taken care of their biggest investment in their life. We've got £300,000-400,000 house, £500,000-600,000 house. I ain't talking about their savings, I'm talking about their investment, their real investment, and how we are going to look after it. And I show pictures like that. Nice and simple. First part of education is with the customer. We educate our customers, they educate their neighbours and their friends and family, and they come back to us. It's all part of the marketing. It's not just about being precious about what we do, it's actually quite a contrived marketing technique, and it works. But STEM is my favourite. So this is, I don't like him, he's a local Conservative MP, but I like him because he's the principal of a local college. And over the years, I get invited into a local college to go and talk to youngsters. Now, I'm not an electrician, but what I'll do is talk about the reasons why we need to do solar and why these people need to be educated in solar so we change the world. That's why I go to schools. They even invited me down when we opened up the Green Skills Centre. A whole college with air source heat pumps, solar, batteries, car charging, everything that we're going to do to decarbonise. Everything. This is Paul. He's the local photographer. He turns up everywhere I go, which is really good for me because he's a mate and I end up in the papers quite a lot. It's quite nice. But yeah, we go to the schools, we go to the colleges, and I went with Finn a few weeks back. We went to a careers day, and there's our mate Andy. Andy's the mayor this year, so it's always nice to get your picture taken with the mayor, because that picture with the mayor goes in the local paper, and the local people see you in the paper and they think, oh, Kevin's a good solar company, isn't he? A little bit of it's just marketing. Yeah. But what we're also doing is educating the public, and what we're doing here is we've got a simple 12-volt panel and some leaflets and a microinverter. That's all. Leave them on the table. Kids at the college, what's that? That's a microinverter. What does a microinverter do? That converts DC to AC at point of source. That's the safest technology you get on a house. Really? Yeah. Because it goes outside, you get 25-year warranty with those. It's working at lower voltages and lower temperatures. I'm educating kids in technology. I'm hoping to make it exciting for them. And that's another chapter in the book about how we engage in the schools and colleges. Guaranteed, if I leave everyone with a leaflet, everyone gets a leaflet. I remember when my son, the teachers and the people who went in each day and taught him. These people will remember me going in to teach them. We leave a leaflet, 6 months later, 1 year later, 2 years later, people they phone when they're on the solar. So it's about marketing and solar without sales. We haven't talked about payback periods of 40 minutes. We haven't talked about what your return on your investment is. We've talked about what you're going to do, what we're going to do in your community, what we're going to do for your house, how we're going to look after you, how we're going to educate you. That is solar without sales. I think we're done. Has anyone got any questions? Has anyone got any questions? Thank you. I like that. So, that time, perfect, thank you.